So Dr. Knight, thank you so much for joining us on the drive this year. As you know, this is our 5th year driving across the country. And one thing that we probably don't do enough of is taking care of our skin when we're actually driving on the road and out there in the sun.
We do a pretty bad job of taking care of ourselves. Guys always forget to wear sunscreen like we're immune to skin cancer or something. Not only that, sun can cause pigment spots and fine lines and wrinkles and make us look older. So it's real important that guys wear sunscreen, but remembering that sunscreen is just a tool. Putting on a bunch of sunscreen. You guys in a convertible or are you guys in a hardtop?
It's a hardtop,
right.
but there is some sun coming through the sunroof there.
Well, here's the deal. So you get reflectance off the road from UVA. There's 2 rays of the sun that we worry about, UVA, UVB. UVB doesn't go through glass. Those are the burning rays. But UVA bounces right off the road, right through your window glass, and we think that causes melanoma, basal cell cancer, and all the wrinkling. So even though you're in the car, it's not just your arm out the window. You can get a lot of incident sunlight just driving. And I know you guys are going through the Midwest. You're going to be getting tons of sun off that hard top.
Yeah.
So even though you're in the car, you got to wear sunglasses. Probably want to wear a hat.
Okay.
Put on your sunscreen. Make sure to reapply it every couple of hours. It's important.
I have dark skin, so I'm probably more immune to some of this stuff than someone with skin like you.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, my ancestors were from some place where they never saw the sun, maybe every like 2 or 3 months. Your ancestors were someplace where they saw the sun daily. So you've adapted over time. You're genetically adapted to an environment. Like here in Central Florida, right, we're the same latitude as like Morocco or Cairo, Egypt. People forget about that.
Okay.
So people with my skin are just terribly equipped to handle that kind of ultraviolet load. So people with my skin, I have very fair skin, need to hammer the sunblock, the hats, the glasses. The problem is there's like a 25-year lag period between when you get the sun and when you get the problems. So I can't get in a time machine and go back to 1985 and put sunscreen on myself, which is why I've had 5 or 6 skin cancers already. And you've been immune from that because you've got that nice protective
But I
thing.
can still get it though.
You sure can. Yeah. You better believe it. I mean, even African Americans can get melanoma, especially in the hands and feet. So, it's important to protect yourself. We get a ton of ultraviolet light in the U.S. during the summer months. It's way more than people used to get. We're outdoors a lot and we're not protecting ourselves. So it's critical not just to wear sunscreen, but do all the other stuff. Hats, sunglasses, stay out of the sun at noon. Don't go out for 2 hours and think you're going to get away with it because you're probably not.
So, but how do you know you have it? Because if you have to do a full head-to-toe exam, I mean, there's so many blemishes on even my skin. How do I know it's cancer versus just some normal blemish on my body?
Well, that's why you go see your board-certified dermatologist, right? No, look, seriously, the skin is the biggest organ. There's a lot of real estate there. The problem with skin cancer is you can get it anywhere. Like I just mentioned, you can get on your hands and feet. Bob Marley died of a melanoma in his toenail. So when you come in for a skin exam, you got to look all over because it's not just the sun-exposed areas. You can get it anywhere. We don't know all the triggers for skin cancer in the United States. There's a lot. Sun is certainly one of them, the biggest one. But a good skin exam is all over. And if you're a guy and you've lived here in the States and you haven't had your skin examined and you're in your 30s and 40s, that may be a mistake. If you're at risk, just go make an appointment with your board-certified dermatologist and get that stuff checked out.
And how often should you do that? Once a year? Every couple of years?
Yeah, it depends on how much at risk you are. I mean, a guy like me is going to be yearly. A guy like you've adapted genetically more to our environment. So, you may not need a skin exam or maybe every year, every other year deal. But of course, if you have had a melanoma or you'd had skin cancer, then you're going to be looking at much more frequently. And that kind of risk is assessed by the dermatologist.
So let's say we go see you, we find cancer. Now, how many days do I have to live?
A long time. Yeah. Well, the good thing is...
So you shouldn't be afraid.
No, not at all.
To find this kind of cancer.
Here's the deal. Basal cell skin cancer is the #1 cancer in America. All other cancers combined. It doesn't kill people, but if not treated, it just keeps growing and festering like a cavity in your tooth. So it's important because most of those occur on the head and neck, So you want to get that taken care of as soon as possible so it doesn't eat through your nose or eat into your eye.
And how would someone get it taken care of?
Surgery. Okay. Sometimes we can do topical creams and other things, but typically it's frozen section surgery, something called Mohs, micrographic surgery. Squamous cell cancer is sort of in the middle, Melanoma is the one we really worry about. Malignant melanoma kills a person every hour in this country.
Wow.
If not treated early, it can be fatal for people. The good news is melanoma, when treated early, is almost always curable. 100% cure rate if caught in the early stages and excised.
Okay.
So it's not one of those things where you should feel fearful of seeing the dermatologist. You want to say, look, I'm a responsible adult. I know I've had a lot of sun exposure. I'm going to go get my skin examined, and just put it in the hands of a board certified dermatologist. Let them decide when you should come back, if you should come back, what kind of risk you are. Because even people that have a lot of pigment, people that should be protected, they can get melanoma. So it's important.
So you keep saying board certified dermatologist. Now there's a lot of, what happens to a lot of our guy patients is they go online, say I have this problem, and then they see a whole slew of doctors and people they can go to see. Why is it so important to see someone that actually specializes in this?
Sure. I mean, there's a reason why I went to school for 12 years after high school. A dermatology residency is 3 and 4 years of doing the same thing over and over and over and taking an extremely difficult exam called the American Board of Dermatology exam to be able to practice what we do. Now, I have people that I work with as a team, but there are people out there that pretend that they're dermatologists. Maybe they're primary care physicians, or they're an esthetician, or there's someone else that is offering screening skin exams or mold checks. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous because things can be insidious. They don't always have to scream melanoma. That's the art of dermatology, being able to find things early and treat them early. It's no different than urology, right? But people aren't out there pretending to be urologists, but people are pretending to be dermatologists. So all that you have to do is check credentials. Make sure that the person you're seeing, at least the captain of the ship, is a board certified dermatologist, certified by the American Board of Dermatology.
So get your skin checked. Now, before they can come in and see us, what are 3 things that guys can do at home today to lead a much more healthier, active lifestyle?
Great question. Can I talk about other stuff besides skin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you and I are both in that. So.
Oh, before you get to that, what about hydration? How important is that for the skin? This is more like a personal question.
It's super important. In fact, you hear a lot about moisturizers, right? And we talk a lot in our media segments about the hype of skincare, and it's a $30-something billion industry, and people will sell you stuff that's supposed to increase collagen.
I'm always getting these ads like $400 skin creams.
Right.
Makes me look like I was 10 again.
All moisturizers do is keep water from evaporating out of your skin. It doesn't get absorbed into your skin. So you can't replace collagen or replace other fibers in your skin by using moisturizer. So if you think about it, the skin functions really super well when it's hydrated. There's 2 ways to get it hydrated. Either from above by forming a seal over the top like a Ziploc bag, right? You can't get out. Or from underneath, and that means hydration, that means drinking water. So not only if you drink water will you function better, will your skin act better, but you'll look better too.
How about sodas and iced tea?
Well, it's funny, I wanted to talk to you about that because you posted something to Instagram yesterday and you're drinking a Coke Zero, and I want to tell you to knock that off.
Well, everything in moderation. I have like maybe one every couple days.
Okay, we're going to get you switched over to LaCroix. You're going to be better off for it. Because it is really all about diet. We were talking this morning about vitamins. You can't fix a bad diet with a handful of vitamins. So it's not about being crazy with what you do, but it's just about being smart about what you do, especially for guys, because we get so busy. We reach for quick food. We run through the checkout or the takeout window, grab food on the way home. We got kids like you and I do running around. Time is precious, but there's a few things that guys need to do just to check the box. One, I'm a big believer in not going more than 3 days without working out. I know you and I both are. I do CrossFit, you do Orange Theory, so high intensity group exercise, I think you and I both feel that's where it's at. 2, make sure you eat a good diet, and that doesn't mean you have to go crazy, but you have to eat good, whole, naturally sourced foods. You do a great job of that, by the way, but vegetables, fruits.
Well, I'm vegetarian, so I have no choice.
Yeah, you do. I see the food you eat. You do an awesome job. So, that kind of stuff is super important. Doesn't take a lot of money, and avoid spending money on things that are just stone cold hype, right? Tons of vitamins. The skin creams that say that they're going to make you look 20 years younger, that kind of stuff doesn't exist. So save your money and do the things that are relatively inexpensive. Eat better, work out better, sleep better, have good sleep hygiene, right? And then just live a good, healthy lifestyle.
And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Just keep it simple, right?
It definitely is too good to be true,
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate your time, man.
I'm Dr. JMatthewKnight, MD, dermatologist. It's time to drive for men's health and wear your sunscreen.